What is a semaphore? Am I audible? What is a semaphore? Do you want me to revise it? I'm sharing a screen with you. So we have seen semaphore. Semaphore is an integer variable which is used as a synchronization tool. It can be altered by two atomic functions, weight and signal. Weight will reduce or decrement semaphore value. This is the function weight. While if capital S is less than or equal to 0, the process has to wait, that is do no op. If the value is more than 0, it can be decremented by weight function, and signal function will increment the value of semaphore. And we are going to use this tool for synchronization or solving critical section problems or classical problems of synchronization. First problem we have seen yesterday is bounded buffer problem. It is also called producer consumer problem. The problem is we want one or more producers which are generating data and placing this in a buffer. So buffer is a common variable or common data structure. One or more producers at a time producing data and putting it into a buffer, and we can have more than one consumers who are waiting to consume that data from a buffer. So these consumers is taking atoms out of the buffer one at a time. Producers also producing atom one at a time. So only one producer or consumer will access a buffer at any one time. And this is how producer is producing data. It is in infinite loop. This is the atom which is produced. You can accept a data from user, say integer value, or you can accept a character or string, and you can put that string in a file or in an array. Here suppose I'm using integer variable, so I ask user to enter a value, and that value I'm putting into a buffer. B is a buffer and in is a pointer for the next element. So increment in. And here a consumer will check there are two pointers in and out. So if in is less than or equal to 0 means the buffer is empty, there are no atoms in a buffer, then consumer has to wait, that is do nothing. Otherwise consume the atom means get that atom from a buffer into say W and display it and increment out pointer. This is how consumer process. But note that this producer process and consumer process accessed by multiple processes at a time. So we have multiple producers and multiple consumers. And then this is the bounded buffer problem. So here we are going to use three semaphores full. If buffer is full, then producer has to wait. If buffer is empty, then consumer has to wait. So we are taking two semaphores, full and empty. One is for producer, one is for consumer, and mutex is for mutual exclusion between producer and consumer. Means either producer or consumer should access the buffer. So these are three semaphores. And these are two atoms. Next P means produced atom, next C is consumed atom. And initially full is 0. So let me show you the video. Is it visible? Board is visible. So these are initializations. Full is 0. 0 means this door is closed. It is not full. That's why this door is closed. Not full means not a single atom produced. And empty is n. N means number of atoms free. So currently empty is 5. This empty variable value is 5. So it is 5 greater than 0 means this door is open. MT is n and mutex is 1. Means mutex is a synchronization between producer processes and consumer processes. So I think that this door is open. Now we'll see how to write a producer process for synchronization purpose. So this is a producer process. Producer produced an atom in next P. So in next P, atom is produced, say some value 10. Now first it has to check weight on MT. So MT, what is weight function? Weight function will check whether MT is less than or equal to 0. Then producer has to wait. But this is not less than or equal to 0. This is greater than 0. So it can cross this door. Then it has to wait on mutex. Its turn. So actually I have to draw other way. This is mutex is equal to 1. And these are the doors for producer and consumer. So consumers are waiting for full. Full is currently 0. And producers are waiting for the signal empty. Empty is currently 5. So you can assume signals, and these producer processes are waiting for this P1, P2 are waiting up for this door, and consumer processes are waiting for this door. So in this is our initialization. Full is 0, that means door is closed. Empty is n, so this door is open, and mutex is 1, this door is also open. And assume that producer process arrived first. First it will wait on empty. It will check whether this door is open. So yes, empty is 5. It is less than. It is not less than equal to 0. This door is open. So producer process can enter. And what it will do? It will decrement this. Wait function will decrement value of a semaphore. So P1 has entered here. Same thing. If P2 arrived, P2 also checks that empty is 4. So P2 can also enter, reducing this semaphore. So many till we can allow 5 processes to enter till empty becomes 0. So as in that we have 5 producer processes P1, P2, P3, P4 and P4. So these processes can enter till empty becomes 0. So if empty is 0, then this door will be closed and all these processes are here. Now suppose P1 will check mutex. Mutex is 1, door is open. So P1 can enter and will close this door. Mutex value will be 0. When the wait function is called, it will decrement value of semaphore. So it is called for mutex. So mutex was 1, now it is 0. So only P1 is allowed to enter into the critical section. This is our critical section. The shared variable. Here shared variable is our bounded buffer. So buffer is here and P1 entered. P1 has produced value 10. So it will put 10 here in and out initially same. So in will increment to next pointer. So now in is pointing here and out is pointing here. Suppose P2, now P1 completed its task, produced the atom. So P1 will call signal on mutex. Note that. Wait on mutex first, then signal on mutex. So signal on mutex will increment this value. So this value become 1 and it will open this door. Meanwhile, after making mutex 1, it will has also give a signal to consumers. So signal on full will increment this value. Full was initially 0. It will be now 1 and this door will be open for consumers. If consumers are waiting outside, the producer process will wake up the consumer. Now it's your turn, or you can consume because I have produced an atom. If another producer want to enter, say P2, door is open, P2 will enter the value and will come out and increment this value. Now suppose consumer arrived. What consumer will do? Consumer can enter here, will decrement this value of full. So one more consumer can be enter. But here at a time either producer or consumer will enter because of this mutex. Mutex is binary semaphore, and empty and full, these are integer or counting semaphores. So consumer can enter, suppose C1 entered here, mutex is 0. C1 will remove atom from out. It has to leave the critical section, so make mutex 1. So we'll see the consumer process. Consumer here, it will wait for full, then wait on mutex, perform the consuming task, signal on mutex and signal on empty. It will give signal on empty because it has consumed the atom. So now it is the duty of consumer to tell producer that I have consumed the atom. So one place is empty for production. Are you getting the problem and solution? So this is how these processes, multiple processes, we can have many producers, many consumers, and they can synchronize with each other with the help of these three semaphores, full, empty, and mutex. Now we'll move towards the next classical problem, which is called reader-writer problem. Any query with producer-consumer? Okay. As the name says, reader-writer, so we have many readers and many writers at a time. So any number of readers, but the idea here is the readers can share the data. Means many readers at a time simultaneously read a file. So if one reader is reading and if another reader arrived, like in producer consumer, we are not allowing another producer or another consumer to access the buffer because it was mutually exclusive. Only one process, either producer or consumer, can access that buffer. But in case of reader writer, if the process is reader, multiple readers can be allowed to read that file or access that data because the data is not getting altered. It is just they are just getting the value or reading the data. So any number of readers may simultaneously read the file. So there is no restriction. If the process is reader process, it should be allowed to access. But there is a restriction on writer process. Writer process is going to alter the data, modify the data. So only one writer at a time may write the file. So if we have multiple readers and multiple writers, what we need? We need a semaphore which will allow either reader or writer to enter into that critical section. Suppose the critical section is file, that is going to be read or write. If reader enter first, other readers should not be stopped from accessing that file. So if new reader process arrive, that process should be allowed to access. So any number of readers can at a time enter into the critical section and access the file. But if writer process arrived, writer process has to wait till all the readers leave critical section. But if writer process enters into the critical section, no reader or writer is allowed. No reader may read it or no writer is allowed to enter. Only one writer at a time can write or alter the file. So problem is clear, reader, writer. Only one writer at a time may write to a file. Multiple readers at a time can be allowed to read a file. If writer is writing, no reader may read it. No reader should allowed to enter. So how many semaphores will be needed for synchronization? How many semaphores are required here? What you want? You want either reader or writer should enter, and you want when writer is writing, no one should be allowed. So here we need only two semaphores. So we are going to use mutex. Again, it's a binary semaphore, and that we are going to use for either reader or writer, and WRT semaphore we are going to use for writers. These values are initially 1. And we need one variable read count which is initialized to 0. So if read count goes to 0, then only writers are allowed. So read count variable, whenever new reader enter, we want to increment this value. When a reader is leaving the critical section, we want to decrement this value. And when all the readers leave the critical section, then we want to allow writers to enter into the critical section. So writer process is simple. Writer process is waiting for WRT. WRT is binary semaphore. So suppose this is a file which is a critical section. First we'll see reader process. So what reader will do? Reader will wait on mutex. Read count is a shared variable. Readers, multiple readers will arrive at a time. They will increment read count, and if read count is 1, that means the first reader, then it will close the door for writer. So we have this mutex variable.
Can it be called?
Board is not visible. Okay. So this is a file which is shared between readers and writers. This is a mutex for read count. Read count is a variable which is accessed by readers, which is 0. Okay, I'll also note that read count is also a shared variable. So this is a door for WRT. Sorry. Don't draw these figures in exam. This is just for your understanding purpose. WRT, which is initially 1. This door is open, and note that read count is also a shared variable which is shared by all the readers. This count is going to increment or decrement by all the readers. And there is a semaphore which is called mutex. Mutex will allow only one reader at a time to increment or decrement this count. Read count is not accessible to writer. It is 0 initially, and this is accessed by only readers. R1, R2, R3, these are the readers. And this semaphore is mutex, which is initially 1. And these are writers, W1, W2, W3. So assume that we have 3 writer processes and 4 reader processes. And suppose reader process arrive first. If reader process arrive first, what it will do? It will wait on mutex. First, it will check whether this door is open. Means it has to access this read count, either increment or decrement. So this door is open. So first thing is wait on mutex means close the door. It will make this value 0. It will close the door, increment read count. So R1 is entered. It has closed the door, increment read count, and then it has to leave this count. So immediately it will give signal on mutex. Now count is incremented, read count is incremented. This variable has changed the value, so it will open the door for other readers. Now, if R1 is first process, its job is to close this door for writer. It will enter here, enter to read the file, and close this door for writer. That means it will ask writers to wait. So if read count is equal to 1, it will call wait on write. So wait on write will make this variable 0 and close this door. For writers, it is available for readers, because readers are not waiting for WRT. Readers are waiting for mutex, this signal. Now suppose another reader arrived. new reader arrived. This reader is still reading a file. R1 is reading a file. Now new reader arrived, R2. It has checked mutex is 1, door is open. It will increment read count. Then first close the door, increment read count and open the door and enter and start reading the file. Similarly, suppose R3, R4. These four readers are reading the file. Count is 4. Read count is 4. Suppose first reader completed the reading, it has to leave. So first, now it has to reduce the read count. It has to modify that read count variable which is shared among all the readers. So first job is wait on mutex. If any reader is incrementing it or decrementing it, this reader has to wait. If no reader is incrementing or decrementing read count, it will enter, decrement this read count and leave the section. Similarly, it will go on till this read count becomes 0. Whenever read count becomes 0, means there are no readers in a critical section. If read count is 0, then it has to give signal for writer. So writer processes must be allowed. So signal process will make this value 1 and open the door for writers. Till that, writer processes are waiting for this signal on WRT. Is it clear? Now, what a writer will do, if all readers finish the reading, then first writer should enter. Writer is waiting for WRT. Whenever it gets a signal, WRT is become 1, it can enter into the critical section. Writer is now in a critical section. And wait, what wait process will do? It will, if it is 1, W1 is allowed and it will close the door for other writers. So other writers now are waiting for signal. So when this W1 modified these values and want to leave critical section, it has to give signal on WRT. So this signal on WRT will make this WRT1, and it is a signal or it is a wake up call for W2 and W3. Whichever the process is ready can enter with this wait command. It is waiting for WRT. It will make this value 0 and start writing or modifying this data. This is how reader-writer problem can be solved with two semaphores. Any queries? Normally we take role play in a class for reader-writer problem. So you can assume that if for readers it is allowed to enter by showing the tokens, and while leaving they have to return the tokens back, and when all readers leave the critical section, then writer can enter, complete the task and come out. So simple problem. Should I move to the next problem, which is dining philosopher? This is yes.
Ma'am, when the writer goes inside, it makes the writer count from 1 to 0. Okay.
Only one writer is allowed. So we are not maintaining writer counts. We have to maintain reader count because till all the readers leave critical section, then only writers are allowed to enter. That's why we have to maintain reader count. WRT is not a writer count. WRT is a semaphore for writer. Means it's a, we can say, signal for writer. When the signal is green, then only writers are allowed. You can visualize mutex as one signal and WRT is another signal. So mutex, all the reader processes are looking for mutex. Mutex is green, then reader process is allowed. Mutex is red, then reader process has to wait. And WRT is for writer processes. When WRT is red, writer processes has to wait. And when WRT is green, writer processes can enter. So what happened says, if reader process arrived first before writer, mutex is green, so reader process is allowed, it will increment read count. And first thing it has to do is, if it is the first process, it has to make the signal read for all writer processes. So all writer processes has to wait till reading is finished. Then another reader is allowed, it will modify the read count, enter into the critical section, because they are not waiting for WRT, they are waiting for mutex. And mutex is used for increment or decrement read count value, which is a shared variable. Mutex is not for a file which is shared, because file, we didn't want to secure file from readers. Readers are not going to alter contents of a file. But when all the readers leave critical section, then last reader has to make the signal green for writers. Here, reader arrived. Reader will wait for mutex its turn. If any other reader is updating this read count value, this reader should wait. If no reader is there, the reader is allowed to enter, increment this read count. If it is the first reader who has entered into the critical section, then it has to close door or give read signal for writer processes. And after completing this read count incrementation, it has to give signal on mutex. This is for other readers. Other readers can enter, increment the value. Then it has to perform reading, and then again want to leave critical section. Before leaving, it has to decrement read count. So first it will give a signal, check whether this read count is free to decrement or not. If it is free, it will decrement it and give signal for other readers who want to decrement it. And if this is the last reader, if read count becomes 0, means last reader is leaving the critical section, then it has to open the door for writer or give green signal to the writer. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next problem is dining philosopher's problem. This is very interesting problem. So assume that there is a round dining table like this, and these are 5 chairs occupied by 5 philosophers. These are 5 plates and just 5 folks. There are only 5 folks. So what is the algorithm is, these philosophers can either think or eat. They cannot think without eating, and they cannot think while eating. So either they can eat or think at a time. So now assume that the algorithm is they have to pick up the left fork, then right fork, then start eating. Then they have to put down left fork, right fork, and start thinking. This is the algorithm philosophers are following. First pick up left fork, then right fork, start eating. And when they finish eating, they have to put down left fork, right fork, and then start thinking. Now the problem is, suppose all philosophers at a time pick up the left fork. All philosophers at a time picked up the left fork. So can they eat? Will they able to
No.
eat? Because they didn't have right fork. They are waiting for other philosopher to leave right fork. So they cannot eat. Are they able to think? Are they able to think? As they are not at eight, so they cannot think, because after eating only they can think. So this is a deadlock. Every process is waiting for other process, and we have to solve this problem with semaphores. So what is the shared data? Shared data is chopstick or fork. So this is for each fork, which is a shared between these two philosophers, or each chopstick is shared between these philosophers. So there are how many chopsticks or forks? Those many semaphores we want. At a time, we allow only one philosopher to pick up this fork or chopstick. So we are creating an array of semaphores. So 0 to 4 means 5. We want 5 semaphores. Initially 1 means all the forks are ready to access, available for access. Value of semaphore is 1 means door is open, or they are allowed to access that particular shared variable. So what philosopher I should do? Wait for chopstick I. If it is free, then wait for chopstick I plus 1 mod 5. note that it is waiting in a circular fashion, and here we are assuming that we have only 5 philosophers. So suppose this is chopstick 1. So 1 plus 1 2 mod 5, it is 2. So it has to wait for 1 and 2, then start eating. After eating, it has to leave chopstick I plus 1 mod 5, and then think until false. Is it the proper solution? Why we have taken mod 5? Because it's in a circular fashion. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can give this name 0, 1, 2, 3, and just check whether this algorithm will work or not. So philosopher needs 2 chopsticks. So left hand side and right hand side, this is I. You can say I plus 1, I plus 2, I plus 3, I plus 4. But here I plus 4 and then again I. Instead of that, we are taking I plus 1 mod 5. So wait on chopstick I plus 1 mod 5, means get both the chopsticks, then only it can start eating, and put down this chopstick, then left chopstick, right chopstick, and think. So we have seen what is a semaphore and how to solve critical section problems with semaphore. We have seen 3 problems: uh, producer, consumer, reader, writer, and dining philosopher. What is the problem with semaphore? For all type of shared variables, suppose we have 100 chopsticks or 100 shared variables, then we need 100 semaphores. Every shared variable will need one lock or one semaphore. So to avoid such things, there is one more synchronization tool which is called monitors. Monitor is a software module. It's like a function, or you can say class. It's a software module. And main characteristics of monitor is local data variables are accessible only by the monitor. So you can visualize monitor as a class where class variables are accessed by only class methods. Similarly, for that monitor, all the local variables can be accessed only by that monitor. Process enters the monitor by invoking one of the procedure. So process, what the process, if process want to access any shared variable, it has to call the process of a monitor. Then only one process may be executing in a monitor at a time. So this is the diagram of monitor. This is the queue of entering processes. Process can enter from here. Then we have different conditions or different variables for shared data, or we can have variable c1, c2, c3, cn, and these are the conditions the process want to wait for. And these are various procedures, 1 2 k. These are monitor procedures, and this is local data and conditional variables of monitor. So only one process at a time can enter into this monitor and leave the monitor. So it is high level synchronization construct that allows safe sharing of an abstract data type among concurrent processes. So many languages supports monitors instead of semaphores. So we can write monitor as type monitor name is equal to monitor. It is just like a class. It's a data structure. Okay. So like you create a class, similarly you're creating a monitor. Variable declarations, if you need any local variables, or if you want to shared variables, so you have to create these logs. Then process p1 and p2, different processes with begin and end, and this is the begin and end code for monitor. So it allows, to allow a process to wait within a monitor, a condition variable must be declared. So we want condition variables, say x comma y. Then condition variable can only be used with the operations wait and signal. So these condition variables are nothing but like a semaphores. And like in semaphore we used wait and signal, same thing we are going to use for these condition variables. In wait, we are passing the variable wait inside bracket the name of our semaphore like mutex or WRT or full empty like that. But here we have to call this function with x dot wait, means for that particular variable we are calling wait function. For that particular variable we are calling signal function. And x and y, these are condition variables. So condition variables can only be used with the operation wait and signal. X dot wait means the process invoking this operation is suspended until another process invokes X dot signal. So this process X dot wait is waiting for the signal from another process who will execute X dot signal and wake up this process. The wait and signal methodology is same in case of semaphores as well as monitors. X dot signal operation resumes exactly one suspended process. If no process is suspended, then signal operation has no effect. So this is the entry queue of a procedure. All shared data. Note that in case of uh, semaphores, we have individual semaphore for individual shared data. It is like creating so many variables. And in case of monitor, we are creating a data structure of that variable. For example, creating 100 of integer variables, we are creating array A of uh, integers. Similarly, creating 100 of semaphores, we can create a monitor which has 100 variables, condition variables. So it is like a data structure. So all shared data we keep inside this monitor, and these are the operations performing on the shared data. And a process has to enter, perform the operation, and leave it. So this is the queue associated with condition variables. So these are the processes which are waiting for X or waiting for Y. First, we need to solve a problem with monitors. Then you will understand what is the difference between monitors and semaphores. So we'll take the example of dining philosopher. So we are creating a monitor of dining philosopher. You can give any name. It's a variable name. Then we have three states. The process can be, the philosopher can be, it can be in thinking state, can be hungry state, and can be eating state. So we added one more state, that is hungry. So either eat or think, and between eat and think, if it feels like hungry, then only the philosopher can eat. And for every fork, we are creating a condition variables. So there are four condition variables like four semaphores. And this is for self. Every philosopher has to go for each condition variable. And we are defining two procedures, pick up and put down. Either pick up a fork and put down a fork. It will also work for all those five forks or five chopsticks. So if state is hungry, if philosopher is hungry, then it will check. Test function will check whether that fork is free. So what is the test function? So there are three procedures we have written. First is pick up, put down, and test. Test will check if left hand side, suppose now first philosopher want to eat. So first it has to check whether left hand side philosopher is eating, no. And check whether the state is hungry, yes. And then check whether this right hand side is eating, no. So if left hand side philosopher is not eating, I am hungry, and right hand side philosopher is not eating, then only the state of this K is, instead of hungry, now it will be eating, and it will give signal for that K. Now I am finished eating. Anyone can use this current fork. Signal means that fork is now free. So picking up, state should be hungry. Check, then completed the eating, and if state is not eating, then it has to wait. And in case of put down, State should be thinking to put down the phone, make the state eating, and check whether left hand side and what left hand side is doing and right hand side is doing. Right? So this is how we can write a monitor like a data structure which has the access to all these semaphores and proceed the process which want to access these variables. This is begin and end. First start thinking, and whenever the state is hungry, start eating. And before eating, check whether left hand side or right hand side philosopher is eating or thinking. I think it is clear. Go through these slides properly and try to revise this concept of monitors and semaphores, and try to find out how you can design an application for reader writer as well as producer consumer with monitors.